Hey bud, what are you doing? Alright. So is everything good? Alright. Hey, I don't believe it. Is everything good? Bit of joy for a change. Hey, what's going on? Right. Let's chuck that down there. Let's chuck that down there. Okay. Hey baby blue from heaven, how are you bud? Big Daddy is 6, how are you mate? How you feeling today old boy? Let's go to chat only, save a bit of battery life, chuck that down there. Yeah, I'm better now baby blue, I was quite sick for quite a while mate, but that's right, I worked through it. Excellent mate. Righto people, so this is the fullest the river has been for a while and it's still continuing to fill. Now, your best friend when you're fishing with soft plastics is Loctite, Power Gel, Super Glue. This will present your baits perfectly every time with one drop of this super glue, okay? And I'll show you how. We'll just put that in there now, okay? So it actually looks like the soft plastic tail. Yeah, it does, mate. Works out through there. Ta-da! Look at that. Absolutely perfect soft plastic bait presentation, and it doesn't scare the fish off with the odour because it's fairly odourless once it gets going. Says the guy is trying to find a place for the surplus. Agent Cal Gibbs, how are you, you legend? Welcome to the stream, mate. Alright, so see that there? That is a beautifully presented soft plastic thing. Lovely. Now, make sure the loop knot's good. Right. Okay. That's good. BM095, how are you, bud? Welcome to the stream. Now, what we're going to do is, we're just going to muck around with the soft plastic, and then we're going to make some noise. So, I don't know whether you remember that stream that we did, where we used the big lures and all that sort of stuff to fish in here, and then we used the soft plastic straight afterwards, and we hooked into that really big fish. Okay, so last time we were fishing, this was out of the water. So hopefully the tide gets to the stage where it's lapping at my feet there. We're going to have 10 casts with this Z-Man soft plastic. And look people, what we're planning to do today is we're planning to stream on Twitch for about an hour and a half to 2 hours. And then we're just going to swap over to YouTube, okay? So make sure you stick around. Now this is really good. The high tide is in as the water sort of stopped moving, right? So just take our time. Like I said to you people, I don't often get fish here, but when I do, they are usually freight trains. So that's why we keep coming back, you know? Happy Australia Day to everyone. Yeah, no gators here, mate. Obviously an American viewer. All right. No gaiters, no Crocs other than the ones that I wear on my feet. Rightio. And just for the reference, this is not an ice fishing stream, okay? Now, if we get a fish that heads straight for cover, people, we're going to be stuffed. So I'm hoping we get one that goes out into the open water. Usually the bigger ones do that, luckily, for some reason, so. Okay, a little bit of weed there. Wolfenheim, how are you, bud? Welcome to the stream, mate. Good to see you, stranger. Where you been? Oh, a little tailor swimming after it, you know. Yeah, sir, I just said to you, mate, we don't have any crocodiles or gators here, bud. We're 3,500 kilometres south of crocodiles, bud. We don't get gators in Australia. Actually, that's not true. They caught some people trying to smuggle gators from America into Australia, and they're now at the Broome Crocodile Park. Okay, so... Hey, Shadow Mark 3, how are you, bud? What's going on, bud? Welcome to the stream, mate. We've actually got more than an hour to live stream today, people, so let's hopefully we can get a fish. This is the best water conditions we've had since we've been streaming, so they are going to come back. This tide is going to continually rise for another, probably 4 hours. So all we're going to do is just keep fishing it and hope that something comes in, you know. The only problem is, for some reason, they always seem to hit this smaller rod and not the bigger one, but anyway, we'll get to that. For some reason too, in this spot you'll get follows. So if you see a huge bow wave behind the soft plastic, you know that it's a fish. Whoops, I grabbed the old branch there. Rightio. that. Alright, we'll actually have one more cast with this and put some bigger lures. And then what I'll do is I'll start burleying up, okay? Burley is always a big help when you fish for mulloway and fish in the river. That's better. Always a big help. The only thing is you never know if anything's having a look at your soft plastic, because the only time you know is when they bite it, you know. So, and the good thing about this is, people, we're honing our skills for the upcoming winter bream season. Right, we'll be heading down south and doing some fishing when the bream season starts. So looking forward to that. Go out in the kayak, get the Starlink fired up, fish in the rain, you know. Alright, let's have one more cast though. Alright, did you see that big V that just shot through there? That was a fish. That was the dorsal fin of a fish sticking out of the water. Someone got a Milo tin for Christmas. Okay, what are we going to do with this lump of wood here? This is going to be a problem later if we hook a fish. That we normally catch our fish on, that's the Z-Man motor oil. Right, so let's just put that back on there. I'll just climb back up this rock and we'll put some bigger lure on. Hey puppy, how are you, bud? Okay, so let's have a look what's going on here. Where's my skizzers? So what you do, hey, thanks to the 39 people that are in here already. So what you do, fam, is when you burley up for fish in the river, less more often is better than a big clump, right? So what we're going to do now is, we want the fish to come to us, right? So what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to cut really small pieces and put them on the edge of the water. This is purely designed, right, to bring them in, okay? Now normally what you do is, if you're burling up with muleys, you use muleys for bait, but we're not doing that today, okay? What we're trying to do is, yeah, happy Australia Day, mate, the day of celebration, hey? What we want them to do is, we want everything to come to us, okay? Last thing you want to do is cut up a heap of bait and throw it out in the river and it floats off and the fish follow it, you know? Alright, so that's on the edge there. we'll just, hey Mr. Magoo, you know the answer to that question, mate. You don't even have to ask, bud. Come on. That's right. All right. So. So what we're going to do today, right, Jacko, how are you, bud? What's going on? So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to get one of the most popular lures for fishing anywhere. It's the old black and gold 6-inch bomber lure, which is just absolutely legendary lures. Anybody that's ever fished dirt heart hog uses them, you know. Deep sky photography, okay, at night or? Hey Petty Demon, how are you, mate? Rightio, so let's just have a quick look at this. I'll take that out there. All right. Okay. Yeah, Magoo, I don't know what point you're trying to make, bud, but you know as well as I do that this is a live stream, my friend. So let's not try and, you know, ruin it for everyone else, bud, hey? All right, so that's good. This is a slightly heavier outfit. So what I'm going to do is, this has got a subsonic rattle in it. So with the subsonic rattle, it's just basically going to make a lot of noise, right? I'm just going to stir everything up that's in here, and with the rattle that's in there, I'm going to hopefully bring some fish in. So I'm not even trying to catch a fish with this. I just want to stir everything up, you know. There we go. I'm just going to bounce it across the top like that. It's a nice cast. Now what I'm going to do is just retrieve this slowly. And what this is going to do, this is going to paint. It's going to point straight towards us, right, and start diving down to about 2 to 3 feet of depth. Okay. I don't know whether you can see the rod tip there, but the rod tip is just working in with the lure. There we go. Yeah, beautiful. It's just got a nice tight action there, okay? what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring this down a bit deeper now. I'm going to point the rod tip at the water. I'm even going to put my rod tip underneath the water so the lure comes in a bit deeper. Right. There we go. That's down at about 4 feet. As long as you've got balanced fishing tackle, right, it works out pretty well, you know what I mean? 43 to 45, yeah, nice one, mate. Yeah, I've seen on my news feed, you've got those people in New Zealand fishing that, what do you call it, that like sanctuary for snapper, which they're not meant to do. So apparently everyone's up in arms about it, but the people that did it are going to get like hefty fines and all that sort of stuff, you know. At least they're quite serious with their fisheries laws, you know. Oh, that's right, mate. Well done. Yeah, that's exactly right, mate. Right, a couple more. Alright. They're introducing new jet ski laws too, people, you know. I wonder why. Yeah, we're going to have an issue with this stick if we hook a fish later. But then again, we'll just see. Let's hook one first and then worry about it, eh? Yeah, thanks. Rightio. Well, this will certainly know everything that's out there that we've got something going on in this corner. So I'm not actually trying to catch anything with this. All I'm trying to do, like I said, is cover all this ground and then make it sound like there's a distressed bait fish in here, and then hopefully the fish will come up towards the noise. That's why these work so well, you know. Patience is the key with river fishing, fam. You'll sit there and think it's a pointless exercise for hours and hours on end, and then, you know, one day, bammo, you get the jackpot, you know. Boom. NZ, how are you, bud? Yeah, well, that's right, mate. Rightio. There we go, fleeing bait fish simulation. Great. Nice. Trolling these is a good way to get croakers, so one more and then we'll go back to soft blackies. Actually, you know what we might do? Let's try a few blade lures. I'm just going to scoot this over the surface. Beautiful. Hey Dave Brocky, how are you, bud? Dave, how are you, bud? Still nice and cold over there, mate, or what? Oh dear. Hey! Alright. We'll cause one more disturbance and then we'll go back to soft plastics. Minus 21, Jesus. Hang on. That's coming in nice and deep. Let me just shift this phone. Bird, how are you, bud? What's going on, mate? How's life treating you? Welcome to the stream, buddy. -2. That Fahrenheit or Celsius, bud? Rightio, one more. That should get them stirred up, I think. Beautiful. Hang on a minute. Oh, did I foul the bib, did I? Yep. No, that's weird. Very weird. Where are you from, bird? Are you from Norway, hence the north? Beautiful. Rightio. That's good. Now we'll cast it properly. Okay. Just going to point this at the lure and just bring it in nice and slowly and deliberately. This is a floating lure that dives to about 2 to 4 feet, depending on, you know, if you were trolling it, how fast you were trolling and all that sort of stuff. So, rightio. Okay. Hi, you're German. Guten Tag, my friend. How are you today, bud? Right, just excuse me for a second. I'm just going to put another light lure on here. think I'm going to need some new line as well. That's too heavy. Alright, we're going to... Wow, 86 viewers after 36 minutes. Thanks, everyone. Right, now, what have we got in here that we can throw around for a bit? Yeah, let's try a little bit of... Yeah. What we're going to do, people, is throw around a few eco gear grubs. Right. These will fish along... Oh, what did I do there? These will fish along the bottom. Okay. Right. Smilodon, how are you, bud? Raidsy, yes, mate, you always use swivels to stop twist, bud. You don't need to use too many. I fish with a monofilament leader. If you're going to use swivels, right, use the rolling swivels. Don't use the barrel swivels. I've had too many fails with them. Right, so let's. So what we've got here now is a little eco gear light blades. That's in the coral prawn colour. So what we'll do is we'll just flick this out over the there's a little like bank out there. We'll just go and have a few casts with this. We'll stir everything up and then we'll just go back to our soft plastics for the mulloway. I think they would have really truly figured out that there's something happening in this stretch of the river. So good thing about this spot is you don't get many people like disturbing you. And then last time we went fishing up here and I caught those two mulloway that were about 50 centimetres. The next day I went back down and there were people that would watch me that rocked up the next day with fishing rods. And this bloke was about 2.5 times my size, right? He goes, oh, I've got a family to feed and all the rest of it, cigarette in one hand and they're drinking. I said, why don't you give up bloody drinking and cigarette smoking, you bloody big prick? And needless to say, the response was less than favourable. So I've seen him fishing that spot about 10 times since and not caught a fish. So that's a good result. So now we'll fish here. Not many people come through here. There's a few that go past, but they don't bother you, you know. So no, let's not do that. I just hate it when people use excuses to, yeah, I'll feed firmly, and you're like, mate, you probably just spent about $100 on booze and alcohol, you like thick prick, you know what I mean? Anyway, life goes on. Oh dear. Rightio. Now, yeah, this water's still coming up, which is good, famo. Ooh. Fred G78, hello from Australia, my friend. How are you? One of our main stalwarts of the channel is from Sweden, Culpable 6709. He's Swedish, and let's face it, all you Swedes just want to live in Denmark, don't you? You know, beautiful. So what this does, this just looks like a little prawn skipping along the bottom, but in windy conditions you can cast them a mile, see? Excuse me. Fred, welcome, bud. And the good thing about it is you can feel them working through the line on the rod. Like I can feel that tail vibrating flat out, you know. Beautiful little lures. Lovely little lures. Okay, so the little toadfish are here, right, which is not a bad thing if the toadies are around. The other fish are around, but the thing is too, with lures you don't catch many toadfish, you know what I mean? So yes you do, come on mate. That's the standard joke in Denmark. So yeah, I don't know whether you can see the little ripples in front here. We've just got a little blowfish that's belting around, so if there's blowfish here, there's other fish here, fam. Same old story, people, never lose the enjoyment of fishing, you know what I mean? That's the motto of our channel, never lose the sweetness of life through the bitterness of living, if you know what I'm saying. So, Raidsy, why would I want to catch puffer fish for, bud? The Smilodon. This river's not as healthy as other rivers. So out here you get bream. Once upon a time, years ago, like last century, we'd catch whiting and flathead here, but I haven't seen any here for such a long time, you know. And you get mulloway. Unfortunately, there's a lot of bull sharks in this river. Okay, so you got to be careful of them too, you know what I mean? So that's why I'm not too phased about this lump of wood being in front of us, because if there's a bull shark in here, it'll have to go past the lump of wood. But I've seen them jump out of the water at people and all sorts of stuff, fam, you know. Once I've got a bit more time, famo, we will be heading further south to a secret location, and we'll be fishing for yellowfin whiting, flathead, flounder, bream, juvenile Australian salmon, everything, okay? And all on lures. We won't be using a single bait between us. Right, so that's a little bit later on. That'll be next month, right? Either February or March, but we will figure that out, you know? So that's the sort of content that I want to deliver to the community. And all I'm doing here is, because I was sick for so long, I just want to get the old casting mojo back and retrieving mojo back, you know. So hooking and landing a fish will be a bonus, you know what I mean. Just casting different shaped and different size lures around and just working on the accuracy, if you know what I mean. I've got an old fishing rod that I use with rope grips, and with those rope grips, mate, I can cast literally into a cup with that, because when we go fishing in the snaggy snuff in fresh water, that's what we need to do. So in here we don't have much wind because we're covered by the trees, but see out there where you've got all those ripples and that sort of stuff, that's the wind that's coming straight down the river. So the other thing with that is too, the reason why we're fishing this spot today is when we're using the soft plastics, right, we've got the wind behind us, so that means it'll aid us with our casting. The slightest bit of wind towards you when you're using soft plastic, it can really limit the effectiveness of your casting. And it's the same old story. The longer you've got your lure in the water, the more chance you have of catching a fish, if you know what I mean. Lizard, how are you, bud? Yeah, the lizard, the chickens have been great, mate. It's just that tomorrow's the first time that I'm actually going to start working on the garden since last year. I literally couldn't go like that in the garden, Lizard, without throwing up. So now that I'm better, what I've done is I'm going to fence off a section of the garden, let the chickens get into it to destroy all the weeds and all that sort of stuff, right? And then what we'll be doing is we'll be seeding tomatoes in there, okay? So late season this year, I'm hoping that I can get one tomato out of the plants, if you know what I mean, for seed for next year. It's been a weird old season, famo. Stinking hot through January, which is understandable, and still the odd night was cold, but we've had the hot nights as well. But I'll be planting the next lot of tomatoes on the next new moon, which is about the 1st or 2nd week of February. All right, last cast with a little blade, and then we'll just go back to soft plackies because we've made enough noise, you know. Oh, that's life, Lizard. You don't whinge, mate. You just get on with it, bud. You know. That's my problem, mate. That's an adulting problem, mate. That's not a streaming problem. That's an adult problem. How's the weather in Sweden? Oh, you're harsh, puppy. You're harsh. Right now, what I'm going to do, family, that all away last year. So I'll show you the two different type of lures that we're going to use today, right? And then that way we can just sort of work from there, you know. Thanks to the 68 viewers that are still sticking around. Now, how much line have I got left on there? Have I got enough? Oh, it should be enough. So last year was a terrible season with the mulloway. We got one fish live on stream, right? And it was on that. Oh, don't do that. Don't do that. Oh, you bastard. Yep. The Z-Man got in there and destroyed the net. You prick. Why would you do that to me, Z-Man? Different soft plastic, see? Bugger. Okay. So that's the actual soft plastic that we got that mulloway on last year. That's the actual jig head there. Right. So what we'll do is we'll put that on. And away we go from there. Right. We did hook our biggest fish last year on the bloodworm colour, but that's been a bit hit and miss for some reason. Don't know why. All right. Now, people, sometimes when you mix up your soft plastics, they'll put a slime over your soft plastic, right? And then it goes over your line. Don't use the line, right? Cut it off, go and wash your hands and put fresh line in the water, okay? Because that will not help you at all with your knots and all that sort of stuff, and it's actually not the best for your fingers either, believe it or not. Right. So let's chuck that there. I might even go the old Might even go the old bloodworm just for a variation. Just going to wash that off my hands. We're starting to get to the witching hour, fam, you know what I mean? Now, what have we got here? You know what we might do? This is actually one of the original motor oil colours, but that's actually considered a bloodworm colour nowadays. What we'll do is, let's have a look. Nope, that's no good. That'll be okay. No, I can't fish with that size jig head on there. That one's not going to work. Let's bring that in here. Alright, excellent. Don't know why. Right. Rightio. So, hey B-Rye, how are you, bud? Berserk, how are you, mate? B-Rye, how are you, bud? Now I want this to ride with the tail up. There we go. Alright, famo, now that's a nicely presented bloodworm bait, or the original motor oil. But what we're going to do now is, remember what I said to you, Loctite Power Gel Super Glue is your best friend when it comes to soft plastic fishing, fam. Doesn't affect the smell for the fish. I've used this gel before and caught a fish within 3 or 4 minutes of using it. Right, so what we're going to do is we're just going to plonk that in there, right, and let that stick to the head. And what that will do is that will present that soft plastic perfectly, irrespective of how many times the fish hit it. So see that? Right, look at that. And that's not coming off now, and that's just going to present lovely in the water, okay? See that there? Beautiful. And that's how they present in the water, see? So we're just going to put that on the bigger jig head. Right, now, oh, just see the little, toadfish down here? Right. Early season, bloodworm's a good colour. Right. Congratulations, B-Rye. Peter Death, how are you, stranger? Welcome to the stream, mate. Right. So what we're going to do is we're just going to use 2 soft plastics from now on. We've got a 1/16 ounce jig head with a 3-inch Z-Man motor oil grub tail on it. And this is a 3/16 ounce jig head with a 3 ounce, well, it's original motor oil colour, but we'll just call it bloodworm. Not really, Berserk. If you want to do that, mate, go to YouTube, bud, because we upload everything to YouTube. We don't put them on Twitch anymore, we just put them on YouTube, okay? So if you type in !YT in the chat, right, what that will do is that will give you the link to the YouTube channel, and all of our live streams are uploaded there, okay? Thanks, B-Rye. Good on you, bud. Is life a lot easier on the straight and narrow, B-Rye? Oh, you're welcome, Berserk. And think of how much money you've saved, B-Rye. Congratulations, B-Rye. Welcome back to the light side, bud. Welcome back to the light side, mate. That's good. Right. Okay, so anything that's in the river would have heard all that commotion before and come up for a look. So let's see if we can stick a hook in one, eh? What I'm going to do, a little bit more burley. Right. I want to sort of peak with the burley just before the high tide. Right. So hey, little toady, what are you doing, bud? You getting a little bit of a feed? Come here, you cheeky monkey. Can't help themselves, they always come back. Come on. Here you go. Come on. Let's just chuck it in here. Yeah, it's funny how you sort of, it's like a veil's lifted, isn't it, B-Rye, from what I've heard. You know, even depression and all that sort of stuff is the same thing, mate. When people come back from that, you know. Right, now. Ooh. Okay, well, everything's glassed off a bit now. Let's see if there's any fish in there. Eh? We've done everything right, I think. Excuse me. Trying to keep the little blowfish away from the burley. And what will happen is now all that will wash up onto the shore and take the burley out with it. No, we don't need to name anything, mate. It's already named. It's called a toadfish. Right. We're just going to fish on the edge of this canopy line here and hope that something swims out and hits it. What a beautiful day. It's just so nice to be able to pull up to any part of the river and just chill out, you know. Right. Slow it down. Better. That's all we need to get out there. Yeah, I think it's a bit cheesy, Shadow Mark 3, where you watch some streams and they go, oh, name the next fish we catch. You know, like, really? Come on, man. And then they expect people to pay to do that. I don't get that. Beautiful action. Come on, get out there. No, that's right. Oh, mate, I'm going to do a giveaway once I figure out how to do the giveaway. So I've got a Berkeley Ultimate Pack with a couple of 100 pieces of tackle in it, like hooks, sinkers, lures and all that. I tried to start the giveaway the other day, but I just stuffed it. So I'm going to have to see if I get onto a oh, that's better. Now that wind has swung round to northeasterly, which is interesting. If I hadn't known it was going to do that, I would have gone down the beach. Yeah, we never give up, famo. You know what I mean? We could go out and just target everything with bait and that sort of stuff, but we don't do that. We like conditions to be difficult, you know? So, that's right, be right. As long as you're upright, mate, and you're fishing, and you're able to do basic things, man, life's good. Yeah, that's that bit of water. Rightio. We'll have a few more casts with this, and then we'll go to the 3/16th ounce jig head. Thanks to the 100 and so viewers that are in here. Welcome to the stream. My name's Jim, this is Australis Fishing. We stream on a few different platforms, mainly Twitch and YouTube. We should be moving full time to YouTube by about the end of 2025, early 2026. We'll be doing like 1 or 2 Twitch streams a week, okay? So the streams are free to watch, okay? Just enjoy the content, and if someone would kindly put !YT into the channel, if you'd like to subscribe for free, you can do that on YouTube, which is their term. Subscribe is the equivalent of Twitch follower. Whew. Thank you. Rhodey, thank you very much for using your Twitch Prime, mate. Thanks for the support, bud. And people, just for the record, Twitch Prime is not free, right? You pay a subscription to Twitch Prime, and they give you a subscription on Twitch, so it's not free, people, okay? That's a misinformation. Oh God, no one cares. The other one talks like a poodle. Hey, good. Nothing at the moment, bud. Just the soft plastic I'm using. Jess, stay 4. Thank you very much for using your Prime. What do you mean $130 for Prime? Why is it that much, B-Rye? Rightio, a couple more casts. What's the time? Oh, we got ages to go yet. If they are going to come on the bite, it's not going to be for another half hour to 45 minutes, okay? So we'll just keep practicing till then. So does Prime give you a discount on Amazon or something? 2 a.m? Whereabouts are you, bud? Are you in the, you're on the west coast of USA? You're not in California, are you, poor bugger? Discounts and free postage. Oh, okay. Oh, right, okay. Well, that's interesting. Is that only in the States, Peter, death, or? Prime movies and some games. Oh, okay. Mostly free delivery. Okay, and this is all Jeff Bezos products, is it, or is it like a version of eBay? I've never used Amazon, mate. I wouldn't know what to do with it. All right, one more cast with this, and we swap over to the other one. Same old story, just got to mix it up, Famo. Okay, interesting. Oh dear. I'm absolutely pining to get out of, or to get out in the ocean with the kayak, fam. I'm absolutely pining for it, bud. Excuse me for a second, let's work. Excuse me, famo, I'm very sorry to be so rude. dear. Alright, let's swap over to the other one. Alright, excuse me for a second, I'm just going to get the other one. Wow, 109 people, thanks mate. Rightio. Now what we're going to do is we're going to use this colour that's got more red in it. Right, and I'll just show you that. Okay. So this is the one that has, get out of there, more red in it. Okay. Let's just see if that'll work. Now this is one of the original motor oil colours, but now people call this the bloodworm. Right. So let's see if this can deliver us a fish. Woohoo! We'll be able to cast just a little bit further. A lot further. Okay, now we had a bump, fam, just then, so we might be in for a bit of action in a second. Hang on, this is a bit early though. I'm just wondering what hit it. Come on. Little school of mullet just out there. So if there's something just shouldering them to the surface, hopefully it's having a look at our lure. Now look, when you're retrieving your soft plastics, right, your line will continue moving towards you until the soft plastic's on the bottom, and when it stops, that's when you know that your lure's on the bottom. Lure, soft plastic or whatever. So it's moving, stopped, it's on the bottom. You've got to fish the bottom foot with your soft plastics and lures, fam, okay? Right. Thanks very much for tuning in today, people. Because at the end of the day, most important thing you've got is your time, famo. And the other thing is too, I'm working on the merch store, so that's not too far off either. Unfortunately, I got sick and didn't do any of that, so I think they took it away. But then I'm going to get it reinstated and then just start. Okay, so got a lot of things to do, famo. See the wind out there, how it's changed? Right, that's good, because when the wind ripples on the water like that, it oxygenates it, okay? More of a benefit for freshwater fish, especially with the lock style fishing as well. But a bit of wind on the water is not a bad thing, you know. There we go, right in the middle of it. Mate Sheba, how are you, bud? Welcome to the stream, mate. Yeah, good. Yourself? Come on. Boom, shakala. There we go. Yeah, pretty quiet, mate. Like I told everyone, I don't get many fish here, fam. But when I do, they're really good fish, so... You know what I mean? So... That's why we put the time in here. Normally you land about 1 in 6, because 2 end up that way, 2 end up in that snag, and there's a couple of others that head out into the middle, you know? Oh, hello. Oh, hello, come on. Now that was a little bit of a nip right towards the end. No. Can't tell any mulloway smell on that. Mulloway's got a pretty unique smell. Hopefully this boat traffic dies down so we don't lose all our burley. Oh yeah. Come on, bud. Rightio. Let's try down here. See, this is a lot of the stuff that you don't see with fishing, fam. Right? Because on YouTube and that sort of stuff, you know, everything's perfect and it's in a VOD and they'll edit it. It's so tough to produce fish live on stream, you know. And this is how much content people go through to do that. So that's all right. We don't mind failing. Have plenty of fishless trips, you know. And mulloway out of this river is becoming increasingly more difficult. I think the health of this river is deteriorating quite badly. So Rightio. Beautiful. Oh. What I might do though is I might just get all of that burley out into this water, and hopefully that brings them in, you know. Alright, what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to do something a bit different. I'm going to just cast it out. Right. And I'm just going to leave it in there. Okay. Now which way is that going? Oh, don't tell me the bloody tide's going out again. No, stop it. Well, I can't leave it in there because the line's heading for the snags. I've got to bring it in now. That's terrible. And these are the things that you've got to do when you're fishing, fam, eh? You just got to figure it out for yourself, you know? I mean, you know, a lot of people would say, oh, this is a detriment. You've been fishing for so long. You haven't hooked anything. It's not a detriment at all. All you're doing is building your experience and your knowledge base, right? And I mean, like I said, you've just got to be in the right time and the right place, fam, you know what I mean? So that's much like winning lotto, isn't it? You know what I'm saying? So don't despair, just persevere, you know? I mean, not that we're going to turn it into a PG John Cena John Cena stream, never give up, you know? But there's a bit of a message with that, so... Is there a car driving in that, the dickheads? The other thing is too, people, you only need one fish to swim into the burley and hit your bait, and then it's jackpot, you know? So anyway, let's put this away. We'll get some burley going and away we go. Yeah, that's right, B-Rye. You never know, bud. Thank you very much to the 117 people that have tuned in. Okay. Once again, greatly appreciated, famo. Please subscribe for free on YouTube. Okay. And just out of interest, excellent, 5,535 subscribers now on YouTube, which is pretty good, fam. We haven't done, you know... Yeah, well, that's right, B-Roy, you know, and I mean, you learn a lot of good skills when you're fishing, bud. You learn a lot of good skills when you're fishing, mate. Problem solving, all sorts of stuff, you know. So, patience is a big one. You know what I mean? Because it does get frustrating from time to time, you know, but that's life, mate. Don't always get what you want in life, bud. Thanks to the 111 viewers that are in here. That's really good of you. Hey, cheeky bugger, what are you... Hey, that wasn't a toadfish. That was a little school of tailor. Tailor are one of the easiest fish to catch, fam. Seriously, I'll show you that. I'll show you that when we get out in the yak, finally out in the bay there. We'll be taking out a fly rod. Recently, I invested in some edge fly rods, and we're going to be transitioning to edge rods as well as our WSB tackle rods. So I managed to get a few of my old Australian agencies sorted out again. So once they're all going good, away we go, you know. That's right, be right, patience, mate. And you'd have more of it now that you've given up the drink, bud. That's good. That's right, mate. Patience is a big one, all right? Let's get all this burley fired up, fam. Oh, it is, mate. And once you have a clear mind for long enough, derive, you end up in that zone. Once you're in the zone, mate, no one can go near you. Big difference, bud. I nearly grabbed that toadfish. It's pretty funny. What you doing, bud? Hey? What are you doing? Come on. These things can't help themselves. When I fished the Swan River for Mulloway years ago, one of the big things we would do in the river is burley up with the bait we were using, and then it was just a matter of time for them to come in, you know. So we'd buy a 2.5 kilo block of muleys, or 4 kilo frozen, don't know, and then we'd just dice it up and throw it overboard, and every mulloway that you caught would just spew up cubes and cubes of muleys, you know. And that's just, you know, working with nature to get them, if you know where I'm coming from. So, right, let's bring that back here. Okay, it's quite picturesque here, fam, isn't it? You enjoying the scenery? Oh dear, hey? It is nice and picturesque, isn't it, you know? Beautiful river, quite tranquil. Rightio. Now, always got to keep on top of work, famo. Work pays the mortgage. Alright, this water level's coming up, which is good. Ah dear. I mean, look at this. This is lovely, you know. Hey, TP Starner, how are you, bud? Hey, it's always 420. Yeah, it is like glass, isn't it? Let's have a look. Testosaurus 3K, how are you, bud? Snakes, bit difficult. And we don't get crocs here, mate, so we're about 3,500 kilometres south of crocs. Thank God. Now that is a good cast. I'm just going to let that sit for 1 or 2 minutes before we start retrieving it, eh? Oh dear, someone's been speeding. In a car for a change though. Hey, it's always 4:20. Yeah, I've gone to Mambo Clogs now. Great shoes, 15 bucks from Big W. Awesome. Well, there goes the rest of that burley. Damn it. Thought we were safe, famo, you know. That's too shallow. Right. Hey Chewy, how are you, bud? Good yourself, mate? What are you doing? Happy Australia Day, bud. You've been up since 2 AM. You're going hardcore, man. Jesus Christ, Chewy. It gets tougher as you get older, bud. It's a bit hardcore, mate. Who'd like to see a real maintenance stream tonight, famo? Would you like me to do a real maintenance stream? Because we've been using these for a while now and they need a bit of a clean out. 3 AM this morning. A nice one, Chewy. Whereabouts were you fishing, bud? I still can't figure out what's going on with this river. Last season we caught 1 fish. The 3 seasons before that we caught and released about 70 on soft plastics. And this year it's just been difficult again, fam. I've got to get out in the kayak with the echo sounder, excuse me, and just find out where the fish are holed up in the river. So, Taree Manning River, how'd you go, mate? Did you get anything? think we might have to put a 3-inch, might have to put a 3-inch motor oil on that. We'll see how we go. We might even try a different colour, fam. What do you reckon? Just, you know, just something totally out of left field that we normally wouldn't use. One colour that I can't use and I never catch fish on is nuclear chicken. I have no idea why. I don't know. I just never caught anything on nuclear chicken. Right, let's go again. Let's try and just hug this canopy line. It's the one. Beautiful. Yeah, that's right, mate. Nuclear chicken. They should have just called it the Chernobyl special. Flipping mozzies. Tell you what, the old Bushman repellent works well, doesn't it? Now I think I felt a little bit of a bump there. Right, so let's go back down that line again. Oh, it's back in stock, is it, Chewy? Yeah, white bait is a really good bait, bud. Especially like in the ocean when you've got trevally and flathead around. Even big whiting love white bait, mate. Ooh, they love it. Some of my biggest whiting have been on white bait. I've even caught salmon and mulloway on white bait, you know. The only thing is though, you've got to put it on frozen, otherwise it just flies off your hook, you know. I'm going to do a big section on beginning beach fishing tactics and tips, you know. Beautiful. Someone's belting along on the old chook chasers. Get away. Last thing you want to do is get any of that Bushman stuff on your hands and use soft plastics. Alright famo, now one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to let Chat pick the next colour, right? Okay, Chewy. Yeah, we just gave away a beach reel to a community member, mate, that was going through a tough time. So, anyway. Alright famo, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to let you pick the next colour that goes on here. So let's get that sorted out. Okay. So, what do we got? Okay. So what I've done is I've invested, notice how I said I didn't make an expense, I've invested, right, in a variety of different 3-inch grubs. So what I want you to do, famo, right, and Pubby's got to help me with this because I'm hopeless. I always make mistakes. Alright, so we have got 1, 2, 3, 4. What do we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, we've got 7 different lures here, right? Now, what I want Chat to do is, these are some of the colours, right? So this is Midnight Oil, which is number 1. So just look at all the colours first, right? You got Midnight Oil, which is number 1. It's like a lime green colour. Then we've got Laguna Shrimp. Right, that's a pinkish type colour. These are 2.5 inch tails. Right, that's number 2. Bloodworm is number 3. Don't start typing in chat yet. And this is free, famo. It's not going to cost you anything. Right, that's the new bloodworm colour. We lost a big fish on that last year. Right, you've got pumpkin. I have no idea how they fitted pumpkin in there, but anyway. Right, so that's the pumpkin colour. That's number 4. Then we've got watermelon red flake, which, okay, has got more flake in it than watermelon red. Right, okay, that's number 6. And last one is Slam Shady, which is number 7, right? So what I want you to do is just type the numbers 1 to 7 and we'll see what comes up in chat. Ooh. No, but I've got the Laguna Shrimp. Oh, what one was that? Alright, lovey, how are you, bud? Alright, so Dragon wants 3, 3, 3, 3. Everybody's looking at the 3, which is the... Okay, 3, which is the Midnight Oil, righto. Oh, do you, Andy? Hey, mate, it's up to you, bud. This is free. It's not going to cost you anything. So 3 is in front. We'll just get a few more. Come on, people. You've got about another minute before we decide. We've got 5 3s and everything else is just 1. Oh, hang on a minute. I think I stuffed up there. Was 3 the Laguna Shrimp or the motor oil? Whoops. Johnny, how are you, bud? Was number 3 the shrimp? Oh, I mucked it up. The pink, righto, lovey. Okay, yep, that's that one, righto. So that's the one. The bloodworm. Oh, God. Right, that's 3, so that must be 4. That's all right, mate. Yeah, great. Yeah. Bloodworm. All right, people. So, bloodworm has it. Let's get the bloodworm out and we'll put that in there. Thanks for that. So, if we catch a fish on this, all credit goes to chat. And the best thing about that, people, is it was free. Know what I mean? No stupid shenanigans. God. Hey, don't be that. Alright, let's get this bloodworm out there. Okay, just one tail here, not 27. Passion fingers, they used to call me. Oh, God. I'm an idiot. Hang on, family. Just got to put these back in place. All right. So here we go. Right, want this to ride with the tail up, so I go underneath there, bring it through here, get it about there, and that's pretty good, I think. That'll work out well. Alright, there it is. The old secret ingredient. The old little bit of super glue. Super glue. Right. Let's just get that to hold that in place now like that. Alright, the tide's coming in again. See how the stick in front of us has changed? Right. Excellent, famo. Da-da-da. Beauty. That's the colour last year that we used when we got smashed by that big mulloway. So hopefully we get smashed again, but this time we land it, you know? Righto, famo. There you go. The bloodworm's on. Let's do it. This community has spoken. Right, now, there's a lot more water in here. This is great. Okay? This is the fullest this has ever been when we fish there. Hey there, Raisy, no snapper. Crocodile with scoliosis. You, sir, are a legend. Dragon, how are you, bud? Rightio. Swims very well. Sounds like there's a little snake behind us, fam. What was that? Nicely done. Dub Nation, how are you, stranger? What's going on? You still in Queensland? That was you in that was you in Queensland, wasn't it, bud? California. Okay, mate. You didn't get affected by the fires, did you poor bugger? Sorta, okay. Ron! Hey Ronnie, how are you, mate? Ron, thanks for gifting the 5 subs, but please don't leave yourself short, mate. Can Hodges 23 Unicrons hold the pants Texas time and bro luck? Please thank Ron Cleveland. And can we have a shout out for Ron? Mate, where you been? What's going on? You back to work or what? It's not Ron Cleveland Outdoors anymore, it's Ron Cleveland, right? Did that work? Can one of the mods give Ron a shout out, please? Literally, yeah, okay. Oh, people, Ron Cleveland's another fishing IRL streamer here on Twitch, okay? And he's currently working at the moment, as he's just explained in chat. So Ron does a lot of the American style fishing. It's mainly freshwater. Yeah, mate, having you in the stream's a blessing, Ron. I don't expect any gifted subs, mate, you know, so thank you all the same, but please, you know, just look after yourself, Ron, you know, and I mean, the fact that you're in the monetary side doesn't contribute to that, you know, but thank you, bud. So welcome, mate. And yeah, we're sort of, I'm back in health front. I was quite ill for about 4 months, bud. Not yet, lovely. We're going to get that going fairly soon, bud. We're not far off at all with that. But yeah, I got pleurisy, Ron, and I got misdiagnosed by a doctor, and they changed my medication for my cholesterol. So my bad cholesterol, which was at 1.1, went to 2.1 when it's meant to be under 1.8, and it nearly flipping killed me. So I had an enlarged heart, I had fluid on my lungs and fluid in my stomach, and I had really bad water retention. So, night Chewy, thanks for coming in. So yeah, I was really unwell, mate. I didn't stream hardly anything for months. And remember one stage there, I was at work, and I was throwing up in the toilets. I was cleaning them, and then just kept working, you know. But when you work for yourself, you got to do that, mate. You don't just complain, you just get on with it, you know. So now that we're better, I'm just, hang on a minute, something just swam out from under there, fam. Did you see that line there? That's a wake caused by something that swam out from here. Right, hopefully it's heading to our soft placky. Hey, Mr. Stud Puddin', look, mate, I appreciate that, mate, but with that sort of thing, bud, I'm just going to do it myself just to keep the costs down, and obviously it's not going to be anything flash. But yeah, thanks for the offer, mate, but I'll just keep it, yeah, I'll just keep it sort of like a little project for myself, mate. I've got all the website organised and that sort of stuff. Hey Johnny, how are you, bud? Colitis? Influenza A? Bihar, how are you, bud? I am born in Australia, but of Macedonian descent, mate. Right, so I'm a goat herder. Okay? So yes, Australian born, but of foreign descent, like 99% of the population. Now people, can you just see what's happening out in the middle of the river there? I don't know whether you can see this, but there's a large fish that's just on the surface there that was feeding. Right, it's now 6:43. Remember when I said to you about 30 to 45 minutes before they'd start coming in? So from about here on in, we've got some little mullet that are coming in here at the moment. See on there? Right, so hopefully things heat up, you know. Yeah, nice one, Ron. Good on you, mate. Hey, Mr. Stud Pudding, I respect that, bud, and I appreciate the offer, but I'll just keep it in-house, mate. So, unfortunately, with live streaming, mate, and the internet, and don't take this the wrong way, you only learn to trust a few people, mate, okay? And, yeah, so I'll just do it myself, bud. I've got a couple of people that are sort of running around doing a fake website with Australis fishing, but the cops are monitoring them, so they'll get theirs eventually, you know what I mean? So, yeah, Ronnie, we're going to start getting out into the ocean in the kayak, mate. That's going to be fun. So I can't wait till we start going 2, 3, 4, 5 miles offshore and fishing for, you know, the larger fish species, if you know what I mean. All right, see these fish jumping here, people? There's a large fish that's underneath them. So what I might do is I'm just going to use this bloodworm. Just keep your eye over in this section. There's something hiding underneath the canopy there. So what I'm going to do is I'm now going to change direction of the cast. So that's usually a signal that mulloway are in here. So what's happened is the salt water's come in from the ocean. It's pushing the fresh water back, and the fish have come up from the salt water as well, okay? And there's a flippin' cormorant here the size of a table. Hey. All right. So what I'm going to do, if you can see over the right shoulder, where I've landed that, I'm just going to let that sink to the bottom, and I'm going to pick a line through here that's about a foot from the edge of that canopy line. So just got to be careful here. Right, I'm going to bring it right past the canopy line there, and hoping that there's a big fish sitting there in ambush just waiting to hit our soft plastic. Can you see where the line's retrieving? There's a couple of little mullet that have shot through here on the surface. Alright, so the cormorant has gone off. Right, get that out of the sticks there. The wind's changing, so What we're going to do is we're going to go back to the motor oil, okay? Midnight oil? No, motor oil, not midnight oil. Let's have one more cast through the middle. Just in there. Yeah, right, Mr. Stud Pudding. Yeah, that's a good point, mate. You know, so... Yeah, but the thing is, mate, Mr. Stud Pudding, I've given them all of this person's details, so they've been monitoring their chat for a while. So what they'll do is they wait till they'll do something untoward and then they'll get them then, mate, because those sorts of people always shit in their own nest, you know. But that's okay. They're all complacent to a certain point, bud. So, it's not Australian police, mate. It's one thing I like about American police. They don't muck around, you know. Rightio. Excuse me for a second. Hey, Orchestran. I will do, lovey. Yeah, Ronnie, with Starlink, mate, I've had Starlink for over 3 years now. Right, Starlink is not all that it's cracked up to be. So here in Australia, the Starlink always has a certain time in certain areas that it does updates from. Right, so here in Western Australia, it's 3 AM for some godforsaken reason. Yes, of course, I've got copyright, mate. You're not getting what I'm putting down. Oh, hang on. Oh, now that's interesting. See, people? Experience. Yeah, Mr. Stud Pudding, you're not understanding what I'm saying there, bud. Okay? If they do one bad thing, they do lots of others. Right, so look at that, people. See how the knots come up there? Right, lucky I picked that up. I'm just going to redo the knot before I cast it out again, okay? Let me just do a fresh one. We'll do that. Yeah, so with the Starlink, Ron, what you got to do, mate, is I just bought the oh, mate, put it this way, it's that bad, Ron. At one stage there, Starlink support was so bad, right? Starlink was only $199 in Australia, so I had Starlink support take over 10 days to respond to my support request, so I just bought another Starlink for 199 bucks, mate. That's why I've got 3 of them. And I've just shut down the account on the others. Right. One I hit with a spade because it was terrible. And then, yeah, so what you got to do is make sure all your updates are done, right, before your live stream, Ronnie. And what you've got to do, Ron, is you've got to split the Starlink signal between 4G and 5G, because if not, what it does is the bastard will continue flutter in and out of 4G and 5G, and your upload will go up and down like a yo-yo, mate, depending on which signal it's come through. Okay, so what I did is I just set mine to 5G, right? And the other thing you find too, Ron, I've taken my Starlink to some pretty remote areas, but what I've done is I've bought an aftermarket modem. The Starlink modems are atrocious, mate. What you need to do is you need to get yourself another modem that's non-Starlink and do the bypass mode on it with a special bypass feature. Okay? And then you'll find the signal's a lot more stable, mate. And in your situation with the ice fishing and that sort of stuff, if that's where you're using it, buy some of those modems that have extenders and use both of them, right? And the easiest way to do it, Ronnie, is I just bought a lithium battery, right? 120 ampere hour lithium battery, and what you do is you just run it through a 2000 watt inverter, and you get about, I don't know, 30 hours, maybe more, out of one usage bud. It's the only way you can do it, Ron, because other than that, it's just garbage, you know. Hey Ginger Nation, how are you, bud? I'm in Western Australia. Thank you, Orchestran. It's good to see you in here too. Twice. Oh, really? Yeah, that's the thing, you know. I'm hoping that they do something about that, mate. But if there's no deterrence, people are just going to do it, aren't they? Righto, famo. This is the go-to lure, or the go-to soft plastic, for many mulloway fishers in rivers. This is a 3-inch motor oil grub tail. Let's hope it does the job. Even the bird approves. Right. No, I'm about 2 hours south of Perth, mate. Hey, Ronnie, you're running a lot of power there, mate. Are you running heaters and, you know, all that sort of stuff as well? Because usually with that sort of thing, mate, you don't need a 3000 watt inverter just for the Starlink. You could probably get away with a, like a 1500 watt or 1000 watt, I guess. But, yeah, it just makes life easier for you, you know. At the end of the day, mate, it's not cheap. I mean, Starlink went up here too because they've gone to a few retail outlets to do it. I think they were doing a clearance on the old, like, dishes. So, you know. But, yeah, Starlink has been atrocious. I refused to pay my account because I was having so many headaches with it. And then, obviously, their support tried to lambast me into paying it, but I refused to pay it. You know, it was just garbage. But that's because of where I am in the world with it, you know. So, right. Why aren't the mulloway biting? Hey, Ginger Nation. Yeah, they run the oh, okay. Well, that's interesting, Ron, isn't it? You know what the stupid thing is here, Ron? In Western Australia, or Australia, when we get heavy rain, the Starlink doesn't work. It's ridiculous. You know, it doesn't matter if you put the heat on when you've got heavy rain, mate, it still doesn't work, you know? So, which is a bit pointless, especially in winter, you know? The other thing is too, Ronnie, don't get sucked into using Starlink in the ocean like some people bang on about. Because, righto people, that's our first bump. Good, come on. Just going to drop the rod tip. Just going to let it work. Come on. Oh, why is that moving? That was our first bump, people, of the season. Excellent. Hello, old friend. What we'll do is just give it a minute. Yeah, well, we get a lot of rain here, mate, in the winter, and it just shuts down, Ron. It's terrible. Boom, yes. Yeah, and they've got the new dishes and that sort of thing. But Ronnie, one thing that I'm finding really interesting, you've got a lot of people bragging, oh yeah, we're going to take Starlink out in a boat. The biggest problem is when you're in a boat, it costs you $3.19 per gigabyte, right? So if you're running 1080p at 60 frames per second, I think you use about, what is it? I think about 6 gig an hour, maybe a bit more. So No, it's more than that. I've got all the figures at home. So if you're going to run Starlink for 8 hours in a day, you're up, depending on how clear and how many frames per second you're doing, right? I'm trying, lovey. Believe it or not, this is deception that I'm doing here. Yeah, it's about $300 to $400 a day, mate. So a lot of people are going to get caught out with that, and they're not going to be able to run the Starlink out in the ocean, mate. You know, it's just too pricey. So, yeah, lovey, this is really tough fishing in this river, but it doesn't deter us, mate, you know. So, just can't figure it out, lovey. Love it, as they say on the English comedies. Yeah, Ronnie, but if you take a Starlink out into the ocean, you pay $3.19 a gig, mate. It only works for inland. Oh, carried away. Hello, mate. Carried away. Thank you very, very much for the raid. Hello, mate. All right. Welcome, bud. Let's have a look. Let's whisper. No, let's follow. People. Oh, that's how you do it. Successfully shouted out user. Oh, you idiot, Jim. Carried away, thanks, mate. Thank you very much for bringing your community across to our community. People, now that Ronnie's here, now I know how to do it, Ron. I press your name. Oh, too early after the last one. Carried, what do you stream, bud? 55 raiders, great numbers, mate. Well done. How long you been streaming for? Oops. I've got to keep fishing, otherwise I'll upset Lovey. Then I'll give Uncle Ronnie a shout out. Astrophotography, all sky stuff. Excellent, mate. That's the sort of content that we need on Twitch. That is the exact sort of content we need on Twitch. Science, you can never get enough of it. Okay? The whole science v creation argument. Okay? Simon, how are you, bud? Yeah, I'll get out of the way so I don't spoil it for you, bud. Oh. Hang on. And we will return the favour. Okay, carried away. Did the shout out go to Ron? Bugger. Super quiet people. Yeah, okay. Simon, how are you, bud? Why would you do that? Twitch, really? Come on, stop it. What do you mean unable to shout out this user? Why can't I shout out Ron? Don't know that. Alright, let me just chuck that there. Thanks, Kerry. Now, Ronnie, I'm trying to figure out how to do your shout out, mate. Oh no, this is where I get onto fishing's silliest moments. When I fall over and break the fall with my face. Right, now we've got a problem, famo. And this is how my luck works in life. That flippin' log is following the tide out. So now we'll probably hook one, yeah? Let's throw it out there. Oh dear. Hey, carried. That's the way, Simon. Carried, in some of our streams, mate, what we do is on the south coast where the Southern Ocean is, you get a beautiful view of the night sky. So it would be greatly appreciated if you're around one day, because what I was thinking of doing was getting like a telescope and just trying to put the viewer on the screen of the stream so that we could have a look at the night sky, because I can't tell what's what out there, you know. I can't tell the constellations. I can't tell anything, so. Rightio, this is the time we should be getting one, fam. It's now after 7 o'clock. Great. Oh, nice one, bud. Yeah, thank you, Ron. A little bit like that time when I played that Michael Bolton song, remember, when you won that bet? Oh, dear. And I honoured it, Ron. I honoured it, mate. Okay. Beauty. Thanks, Lizard. You too, mate. Happy Australia Day, mate. Should be a day that joins the nation, bud, you know. Oi, that's far too shallow. What is happening there? Don't tell me the tide's changing. Right, let's go out again. I've got to slow it down. This is actually a foot higher than the other day we fished, you know. Thanks, Ronnie. Nice to see you too, bud. Hey, Ronnie, do you have a mirror? Come on, you big bugger. Little school of mullet just above the soft plastic there, famo. So, come on, bud. Let's go out here now. I can't cast in here because I've got a big lump of wood. Thank you, carried. Dunno, Simon. That's the way, mate. Night, everyone. Right, let's go again. I'm really annoyed I can't shout out Ron. Just hang on a second. Ramford, we're 3,500 kilometres south of Crocodiles, bud. So no. Hey, finally. People, go and give Ron Cleveland a follow, okay? Oh. Do you see my gazelle-like footwork there, Ron? Looks like I ate the whole herd now. Righto, people, I've had a fish swim underneath that structure there. Right, so how close do we go before we get snagged? Let's have a look. Right. It's a little pendulum cast. It's very shallow there. Sorry, Ramford, because they're a tropical species, mate, and I'm not in the tropics. Crocodiles really don't go south of Broome. They very rarely see them south of Broome, mate. You'll have more chance of seeing a cane toad than a crocodile. Did you see that out in the middle there, fam? Right, a fish just got smoked on the surface there. Rightio. Looks like Loch Ness, that thing, doesn't it, eh? Okay, the witching hour is upon us, fam. I think we've got about 45 minutes where we've got a chance to hook a fish. Righto, how are you, bud? Welcome to the stream. I think I need to be out in there though for some reason. Ron, thanks for coming in, bud. I finally figured out how to do the shout out. No, not today, mate. It's been... Oh, no, never lick a cane toad. Ooh. Hey, 20 Cent, how are you, bud? Welcome to the stream, mate. I could sit here all day and night casting out soft plastics, fam. Wow, there's no one at the park there. I should have gone down there. Hey, 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 hey. Yeah, Ronnie, that's Twitch auto mod, mate. We've got it set on the highest. We've got it set on the highest moderation because we're a family-friendly content. Fishing's our first tag. Our next one's family-friendly. We just don't know what that is, bud. Twitch is picking up everything at the moment, so I'll check that after the stream, Ronnie. Sorry, bud. Look at the size of that cormorant. The things you see when you haven't got a gun. So what'll happen is, fam, that lump of wood is going out in the middle. That lump of wood is going out in the middle of the water there with the tide. Yet, when the tide changes, it'll come back into shore. So, right, let's have a look. Hey Pesty, how are you, bud? Welcome to the stream. So are you a big Pestily fan, Pesty? Oh, Jesus, what happened there? Whoo, did you see that? One of the Australis just blasted one of those. Oh, hello. Bit of action we didn't see. Ooh. Hey Shane, how are you, bud? No, not yet, Pesty. Sometimes the fish get in the way of your fishing, fam. See all the wind lanes out in the middle? Where you've got the rippled water. There's another fish that's hit it out in the middle there. We'll have to remember this spot when we come back in the yak, fam. Yeah, it is a nice night, mate. See these little fish in front of us? That's little mullet just milling on the surface, you know. So hopefully something's underneath them and they see our soft plastic go right in front of its snout. Jesus, who was that flying around flat out? Hey, way too shallow. Weird. That's better. Oh, but welcome to the stream, bud. Thank you to the 200 viewers that have stuck around. Now, people, if you're new to the stream, welcome. My name's Jim. This is Australis Fishing. It's free to watch the stream, okay? We also have a YouTube channel. I would really appreciate it if you went across and subscribed for free on the YouTube channel, people, where we are starting to do a lot more content as well. So if you could just click on that link that I've just put into chat, it would be greatly appreciated. Okay? Thank you, Orchestran. Right. What we might do is we might go back to the bloodworm, people, for a few casts. Just see if we can get it out more into the middle of the river, you know? No, this isn't going down deep enough. Let's just go back to the bloodworm. That's the one that chat decided before. That's what we'll use again. Alfie, how are you, bud? Alfie, how's life treating you, bud? What's going on, mate? No, not really pesty, you know. I've already caught a few mulloway that are over a metre, bud, but obviously a long time ago. So, yeah. That's better. Oh. Alfie, how you been, mate? How's the fishing going? You been hitting those whiting at mile up or what? The current must be pretty strong because the 1/16 ounce jig head is coming up to the surface, so we're going to go to a heavy one. Right, that's holding the bottom quite nicely. Good, come on. Are you in Queensland, Pesty? Which river were you in, Alfie? Did you head down south for the weekend? Yeah, Aqualiba and Pesty, if you want to have a chat like that, mate, just take it to whisper, please. Okay? That's sort of personal stuff that you should just keep between yourselves, people. You might slip up and put personal details in chat. So, yeah, just whisper that to each other, and then we can work from there with the stream. Oh, Wellington Dam on the southern side. Oh, nice one, bud. Nice to see that there's some big perch in Welly Dam, because that was overrun by little ones. God, they're a horrible thing. Welly Dam, eh? A lot of big carp in Welly Dam, Alfie. A couple of deep-oar guys told me the other day, mate. Come on. I'll have to look up at my notes when I sort of fished this last, when I hooked fish and caught fish, because it might have been early season. Usually later in the season they're all down there, but sometimes you do get the odd big one here. I'm not using bait anyway, so... Alright. Oh, it's beautiful orchestran, isn't it? Oh, really nice one. Redfin are a 5-star eating fish, Alfie. Don't put them back, mate. And when you rip out the big ones like that, you're doing the waterway a big favour. Someone's trying to wear out the accelerator. Oh dear. Alfie, you don't need a backpack, mate. One of the biggest lies in live streaming is you need a backpack to do, you need a backpack to do good content. You don't, bud. Right? No one can really tell the difference between 1080p 30 frames per second and 1080p 60 frames per second, especially on phones, you know. So yeah, I've got technology that I'm using on my Samsung Galaxy, which you can't see because I've got special equipment and software that I'm using to highlight that. So all the blues at the back of the river and the pinks in front of it from the setting sun. Then you've got your greens and your darker colours in here. You know, you've got your greys and everything over there with that sort of blue, then sort of grey blue where it mixes into that night sky, you know. And if you've got good lenses, mate, that's just basically can make all the difference, you know. Yeah, hey Adonis, how are you, bud? Mate, if you're going to come into chat, right, if you're going to come into chat, bud, just come in and type into chat, mate, okay? Alrighty? Just come in and type in chat. Okay, don't start with emotes and that sort of stuff, mate, because it's a bit disrespectful to the community, bud. Right? Can you see the difference in the colours there, everyone, in the stream? Is it picking up everything? And I mean, that's with no backpack or anything like that. The other thing is too, I've picked up a couple of tricks that I am doing with my live streaming. One of the tricks that I'm doing is I'm no longer using a modem. So I have no overheating issues, fam. And that's been quite prevalent in a lot of the kayak streams. Oh, didn't it? Bad luck, Lucky. How are you, bud? Welcome to the stream, mate. You all right, mate? Is it? Right, so... All right, this is a saltwater river, Lucky. Our saltwater rivers in Australia can go up to 20 to 30 k's depending on the time of the year, you know. All right, so come on, there must be one out there, damn it. Might have to go back to the chartreuse, famo, for one last dash of glory. I might do that actually because the conditions are quite dark. So what's the old saying? If it ain't chartreuse, it ain't no use. It's a very, very popular American saying. Rightio, being on 7:30 now. Hey Customs, thank you very, very much, mate. That's why we stream, bud. The stream's free to watch, mate. There's no hidden agendas here. You know, we're not trying to get money out of people and that sort of stuff, Customs. We just want to provide the content. And then the views will sort themselves out, bud. And look, for those of you that are new to the stream, if someone can type in !YT in the chat, what that will do is that will bring up the link to our Australis Fishing YouTube channel. And we would really appreciate it if you went across to our YouTube channel and followed us there, because it'll only cost you a click, famo, that's all. It'll just cost you a click, nothing else, fam. And on YouTube, the equivalent of the Twitch follower, they call a subscriber. So yeah, and we're going to be uploading a lot of informative fishing related content very soon, now that I'm better and I've recovered from my sickness. And yeah, we're going to do a massive push in March this year with our content, and we are certainly going to be taking it up a notch, famo. So please join us for the ride, okay? And like I said, no one asked me to live stream, okay? I live stream because I want to, so it's free, okay? Right, let's see if this chartreuse one works. I don't know why chartreuse works, but it does, you know. Codes Rabes, how are you, bud? Sasha Boo, oh, Codes Rabes. Codes, how are you, bud, you big hunk of burning man meat, you? Hey, Sasha Boo told me that. So, people, Codes Rabes is one of the most entertaining IRL streamers on Twitch. Very unassuming, down-to-earth guy, right? That's a part of the 420 Olympic training team, right? Hello, Sasha Boo. Oh, you're welcome, Customs. That's what it's about. Excellent. That's what it's about, Andy. Yeah, people, like I said, don't get sucked into this garbage about, you know, oh, you got to have a backpack to live stream. You don't. Just need a phone and download. So, biggest problem with backpacks in Australia, they overheat. And I learnt that the hard way. Righto, last few casts. We'll go out with the chartreuse. We'll go out with a bang, fam. Oh, yeah. I'll tell you what, mate, I've had a pretty rough start to the year. So, I turned 55 the other day, and I finished work at 9 o'clock at night. It's just another day, famo. So, yeah, you know, everybody makes a big deal out of birthdays, which they're entitled to do, but once you hit 40, you stop counting, you know. Come on, you big bugger. It's interesting, with this tidal flow, right, we've had to go to a 3/16th ounce head just to hold the bottom. Let's chuck that there for now. Hey, hey, what's that garbage? Hey! Alright. Hey, hey, don't do that. We're just going to work from left to right. Hey. $56? I hope I look as good at you at 56, Orchestran. We are pentagenarians. Never thought I'd make 55 actually. Come to think of it, I didn't think I'd make 50, but anyway, life goes on. One thing at a time, Jim. What was that? A pile of diamonds, Orchestran. A pile of diamonds. Right, I gotta go. Another fish got smashed off the surface there. Did you hear that little schloop? Hey, 2 pints, how are you, bud? This is the type of weather when snakes come in, so you got to be very careful, famo. Alright, we had to follow then, famo. Alright, last cast. Alright, famo, we're done. Oh dear. 2 pints, how are you, bud? How's that English weather treating you? Alright fam, thank you very, very much for tuning in. What I'm going to do, when I turn around like that, mate, it does. But you know, what do you do? Let's have a look. Let's throw out a raid. Alright people, we're going to throw out a raid to another Australian streamer, who's a very hard-working Australian streamer. Right, so let's throw out a raid. Now where those people are fishing, right, is a good mulloway spot, that's why they've anchored up. Okay, so... See you, Pesty. You too, Andy. Thanks for everyone. Alright people, we're going to go and raid Candy Rocks. Thank you very, very much for tuning in. Let's go and give her a big surprise. Okay. Thank you everyone. Happy Australia Day, and I'll see you soon. Okay. Alright, let's go. She's a very hard working streamer, so please behave yourself in there, okay? Not that you won't, but anyway. Let's go.